The Emperor and the Nightingale. The Emperor's palace was the most beautiful place in the world. The garden was filled with beautiful flowers. There was also a forest with tall trees. A singing bird was on top of the tall trees. It was a nightingale. Travelers were amazed by the Emperor's palace and his garden. All of the travelers shouted,
"The palace is beautiful, and the garden is marvelous, but the nightingale is the most amazing."
Travelers wrote about the Emperor's palace and his garden. Of course, they also wrote about the nightingale. The Emperor read those books. He was very surprised after reading them.
"The nightingale? Bring the nightingale to me at once,"
the Emperor ordered to his servant. The servant spent the whole day looking for the nightingale. No one in the palace knew about the nightingale. The servant finally went to the kitchen.
"Oh, the nightingale. I know where she is,"
said a servant girl.
"Take me to the nightingale."
The girl took the servant to the forest where the nightingale was. The girl pointed to a brown bird and said,
"There's the nightingale."
The nightingale began to sing. The servant was surprised to hear the song.
Wow, the nightingale's song really is beautiful. Nightingale, please, sing at the palace this evening.
My song is the most beautiful in the forest. But for the Emperor, I'll go to the palace and sing.
The nightingale, the girl, and the servant came back to the palace. The nightingale began to sing. Everyone was moved by the beautiful song. The Emperor even began to cry.
"Nightingale, I will give you a gold necklace."
No, Your Majesty, the tears in your eyes are my greatest reward.
The nightingale sang even more beautifully. The nightingale began to live in the palace. Her cage was beautifully decorated. The nightingale went outside 3 times a day. Every time, maids followed the nightingale. The nightingale could not fly far away because a ribbon was attached to her leg. One day, the Emperor received a gift. It was a mechanical bird with beautiful jewels on it. The servant wound up the bird. The mechanical bird moved its tail and sang. People compared the nightingale with the mechanical bird. The mechanical bird could sing 33 times without getting tired. People liked the mechanical bird more than the nightingale. One day, the nightingale could not be found.
"She left without saying anything. How rude."
The Emperor was very angry. The Emperor gave the gold necklace to the mechanical bird. He put the mechanical bird near his bed. Many jewels were in front of the mechanical bird. Everyone loved to hear the mechanical bird sing. One day, the mechanical bird stopped singing. The watchmaker opened up the mechanical bird. He told the Emperor what was wrong with the bird.
"The spring is too old."
So the Emperor only listened to the mechanical bird's song once a year. Years later, the Emperor became sick. One night, the Emperor woke from his sleep. He was surprised to see the god of death looking over him. Behind the god of death were many other ghosts. The ghosts told the Emperor what he had done wrong in his life.
"I don't know anything. Goldbird, sing for me. Quick! I don't want to hear them."
The Emperor shouted, but the mechanical bird was quiet. No one was there to wind it. Just then, the Emperor heard a beautiful song. It was the nightingale.
Oh, it's a beautiful song.
The god of death said to the nightingale. Touched by the song, the god of death simply went away.
Nightingale, you sang for me. How can I pay you back?
Your Majesty, you shed tears when I first sang to you. I could never forget that.
The emperor fell asleep as he listened to the nightingale's song. The next morning, the emperor woke from his sleep. The nightingale was by his side.
Nightingale, always be with me.
Your Majesty, I can't live in the palace. I will come and sing to you whenever possible.
The emperor nodded. Just then a servant came in. The servant was surprised. The emperor, who had been lying in his bed for several days, was greeting him with a smile.
Palace.
Palace.
Bird.
Bird.
Jewel.
Jewel.
Ribbon.
Ribbon.
Emperor.
Emperor.
Sing.
Sing.
Cage.
Cage.